Hello, you guys. Welcome back. Happy New Year. Long time no see. I hope everyone had a great New Year's. I know I've been gone for a while, but I'm back now. And with that said, I had a whole video planned out for us today. And unfortunately, I have to scratch that because this Chicken Little broke back bitch, Joshua Hare, has decided to report my video and get it taken down. Actually, not even just my video, but Bubba's video as well, who's another content creator here on YouTube who does amazing videos, truly doing the Lord's work. But here's what happened. So Bubba had posted a video on this guy, Joshua Hare, a while back, as well as myself, JD Delayed, as well as Trans West Watson. I'm sure other creators did videos on Joshua Hare, but to my knowledge, all of the creators I just listed were the ones who were hit with privacy complaints. And he was successfully able to get my video taken down, as well as Bubba's and a few of Trans West Watson's posts. And so I just want to say this before we begin to whoever's going to be manually reviewing this video, because I know he's going to try to hit me again with the privacy complaint. So hello there, YouTube. You look really great today. Your hair looks wonderful. Your ass looks great in those jeans. While you're here, feel free to subscribe. Now, this video discusses a public figure who identifies himself as an online coach. He has been widely covered by multiple creators across various platforms. This video consists of commentary and analysis of this public figure, which is protected under the platform's policies. There is no reasonable basis for a privacy violation, or any violation for that matter, given that the content does not disclose private or personal information. Additionally, the individual mentioned has been mass reporting multiple YouTube channels, suggesting a pattern of abusing the reporting system to suppress lawful commentary rather than addressing any legitimate privacy concerns. Thank you, ChatGPT. So thanks to Bubba and his investigative skills, we were able to figure out why Josh is able to get these videos taken down. And it is because he has sealed these court documents. So we're not going to be discussing the court documents or anything in them. And I'm not going to be able to show you them on screen. Normally, I would show you, the documents that I'm going to be discussing. But since we're not discussing documents in this video, I'm not going to put them on screen. Therefore, there is no reason for a privacy violation. Now, let's get into this shit. So just in case you aren't aware of who Joshua Hare is, or you're new to this channel, Joshua Hare is a Chicken Little motherfucker who has been slobbing on Wes's knob for years now, deep throating that shit like crazy, because not only was he paying Wes Watson to be mentored by him, but on all of his social media, which he has now taken down, we'll get into that later, on his TikTok, on his YouTube channel, he has Wes Watson blasted all over it, because obviously he is very proud to know him. He's like his little minion, his little sidekick, his little student, which doesn't come as a surprise because, as we know, Wes Watson has been giving other creators on YouTube strikes, reporting channels, and getting their videos taken down. He's done this to John Bravo, Bubba, and he even got Mud Pit's channel taken down. Wes Watson did. So obviously, we aren't stupid. We can put two and two together that this is where Joshua has gotten this idea, or at the very least is where he's learned this tactic from, of abusing the system and falsely reporting creators in order to silence us and suppress information. But here's where Mr. Joshua Hare really messed up, because before my video was taken down, it had only about, I would say less than 10,000 views, 9,000 something, right? Now that I know for a fact that he is trying to bury this information, as well as intimidate other creators into shutting up and trying to silence them, I can guarantee that I'm going to go harder than ever on this guy. And not only that, but other creators, bigger creators like JD, have been talking about this situation, and his video has 700,000 views. So good job, Josh. You played yourself.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
Look, my boy DJ Khaled, another one.
So let's check out JD's video first, and then we'll talk about it. Mind you, fair warning, I'm going to have to blur out the documents that JD shows in his video, in his short, because we don't want to take any chances here. We already know Josh's petty ass little tactics, and we're not leaving anything to chance. Oh Lord, not JD Vance. That's not what we want. We want JD. Here we go.
I did a video exposing this dude's charges against a 16-year-old girl, and he tried to have my video taken down saying that I violated his privacy. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Joshua Hare. Josh is one of those dudes from Wes Watson's crew, and he also happens to have chomo charges. He aspired to be one of those alpha male podcasters, and he was being mentored by Wes Watson until we found out what he was accused of and exposed all of his public paperwork. You see, when Josh was 24 years old, he was arrested for criminal sexual conduct in the 3rd degree with a 16-year-old girl. And Josh here, he's very upset that we're talking about it on the internet because it's going to mess up his career being an alpha male podcaster. So he filed a privacy claim trying to have my video taken down, saying that I violated his privacy by showing the paperwork to everybody of what he was accused of. It's not going to work though, because all of these court documents are public record, which means it belongs to me and everybody else, dog. So instead of taking my video down, you now have my full attention, and I'm going to be talking about you a lot more, Josh. Maybe it's time to pack it up and just get off the internet. What do y'all think? Let me know down in the comments.
We agree. We love that. So just a little correction. JD did a great job summarizing this whole situation, and he was correct about pretty much everything in his video, except for the fact that allegedly, well, not even allegedly, but I have to say allegedly because, we're being careful here, but the girl was not 16. She was actually 14 years old. So here's what happened. Joshua Hare, this absolute scum of the earth, was 20 years old when he was dating a 16-year-old girl. And this is fact. They were openly dating. This is not like a secret or anything, because apparently in the state of Minnesota, who knows what the hell is going on over there, the legal age of consent is 16 years old. So technically in that situation, mind you, let's clarify, he was not breaking the law. Now, this 16-year-old girl had a friend that was 14. Now, things in Joshua's relationship with this 16-year-old were kind of getting rocky. So he decided to confide in her friend, the 14-year-old. They were texting back and forth until eventually Josh decided to pick this girl up in his car, where he SA'd her, allegedly. And at some point he decided to stop, but not because he realized that she was underage or, too young for him. It was because he got sketched out that his girlfriend, the 16-year-old, would find out. And because they were in an open place, they were in the car. He was doing this to her in his car. And obviously, he didn't want to get spotted. And to be clear, he was charged and never convicted because the court found it credible or, believable that Josh didn't know this girl's age, which personally, in my opinion, which I'm allowed to have, I don't believe this whatsoever. Because for one, Josh actually joked that this girl was a junior high school student. He may or may not have made a joke about that. And two, Josh was 20 freaking years old at the time. I'm trying to stop cussing for this new year. So he was 20 freaking years old at the time. This girl was 14. Now, I have cousins that are, 14, 15, 16 years old, and they look like children. They don't look like college students. They look like kids. And I don't care how mature you think they sound, Josh, because a disgusting fact is that he allegedly may or may not have said that he thought this girl was older because of how mature she was and how she carried herself with such poise. And I just have to say that is so disgusting to me, because throughout my life, I have heard many men when I was a kid that were older, far too old to be talking to me in any sort of capacity. But they would always tell me that I was so mature for my age and looked so grown and carried myself like an adult. And later on in life, I found out that this is a tactic a lot of these pervs use. I would use the other word, but again, we're being careful. It's a tactic that they use, and they tell children that they are so grown for their age. They seem like adults. They're so mature. So So Josh, in my opinion, was definitely, taking advantage and using this tactic. And the third reason I don't believe this for a single second is because Josh was friends with this 14-year-old girl. This 14-year-old girl was actually friends with his girlfriend for a while. And Josh had been confiding in this girl and texting back and forth with her. You're telling me you were texting back and forth at 20 years old with a child, and this whole time you didn't think once to yourself, damn, this sounds kind of like a kid. Kids are into completely different shit than 20-year-olds are. Especially 14-year-olds. Come on. You can see right now if you go onto TikTok, I know children are not supposed to be on TikTok, but come on, let's be honest. It's full of children. And you can clearly see the way these children act, the way they talk, completely different lingo. And you can just tell that they're kids, right? This guy literally makes me want to vomit. And it's so freaking infuriating that he keeps beating the system over and over. He keeps, taking advantage and like playing the system, not just with this situation, which I fully don't believe that this was properly investigated, but also attacking all of us online for speaking the truth, for speaking facts. He's attacking us, playing the system, playing the legal system, and now he's playing, the YouTube reporting system. And, I was not going to make another video on this, but I'm not going to let this dude freaking silence us. And like I said, I don't know what the hell is going on over there in Minnesota. Damn it. I don't know what's going on over there in Minnesota, but they dropped the ball big time on this one. It's so sick. It's so disgusting and so like beyond infuriating. But now you can see why this guy is actively scrubbing links. He's gotten multiple links on the internet taken down because when I was doing research for this video the first time around, I would click on links that were associated with him. And as soon as you click on it, it says page not found. And I know other creators ran into the same issue. And now he is reporting channels, which tells you everything you need to know. He just doesn't want this to harm his little alpha male coaching grift. So he's trying to bury it, making sure that nobody finds out. But we're not going to let that happen. This could have stayed small. It could have gotten my little 9,000 measly views, but you decided to try to silence us. So now it is scorched earth, unfortunately. This story completely pisses me off because in my opinion, Josh got away with this scot-free. And when that happens, I feel like people deserve to know. People deserve to know who to keep their children away from. And it's even more important because this person is trying to position themselves as an online coach. So if you're asking people to pay for your guidance, your mentorship and coaching, then your actions and your character, in my opinion, is fair game for scrutiny. People deserve to know exactly who they are handing their money to. This guy isn't just like an influencer or making content online. No, he calls himself a public figure, but he is coaching people. That is my main problem with all of this. But anyways, after JD posted that video, he has taken down all of his social media accounts. But in my opinion, it is just a tactic to try to portray himself as like a private person and not a public figure to strengthen future takedowns and reporting claims. Because by doing this, he can argue that he's not a public figure, he doesn't even have social media, and that discussion about this case is improper. He doesn't want to address the actual substance because he can't. It would be too damaging for his coaching career. But I guarantee as soon as all of this dies down, I feel like that's going to give him the balls to come back out and create new social media or like reactivate his social media handles. But we're not going to forget about this. That's why I feel like it's so important for us to keep talking about this. If you're a creator or a bigger creator, it's super important to discuss this because this guy is going to come back once he thinks, he's erased his online footprint. He's going to reappear just like every monster and boogeyman does. And he's going to try to further manipulate people. And who knows? Guys like this are very, very dangerous. Let's say in the future, he were to coach somebody who has children, who has young daughters, would you want to have this guy around coaching you, meeting up with him if you're in the same area, and, feel comfortable if this guy was around your daughters? Eventually he's going to be around kids. That's why this is so important for everyone to be aware of. It's so crazy to think about the fact that not even Kyle freaking Perry reported my videos. None of these alphas have reported any of my videos except for Joshua hairy ass belly. And it's because none of these people have a past. I mean, except for Queen Azulai, but none of these dudes have a past like he does. He has the worst, the darkest, most disturbing, most disgusting past out of any of them. And that's why this guy is different. He's an absolute scumbag. He's a coward, a predator, and in my opinion, an absolute freaking monster. And that's why, most of these alphas I laugh at, but not this guy. This guy, there is nothing funny about him. There is nothing to laugh about except for that hair. But there is nothing endearing, nothing charismatic about him. He's disgusting. Anyone who does this to children does not deserve to participate in society. They don't deserve to have an online business or coach others. He is the worst of the worst. And in my opinion, Joshua Hare, or Joshua Hare Alive is his handle, he got away with. It's so sad that this child was absolutely failed at every corner. She was failed by the system. She was failed by the cops, whoever investigated this, by her teachers, by the school. I mean, the only person that really did any sort of investigating and reported this in the first place was the liaison officer. But, there's not really much they can do when they hand it over to the state of Minnesota. After that point, she was completely failed. And so Joshua Hare got away with it. But here's the thing. The harder he tries to silence us, the louder we get. And I can promise you that, Joshua Hare. Every little report, every video he gets taken down just gets more attention. It gets more people talking about it. It gets bigger creators making videos. Bigger channels start paying attention, because that is how this space works. Creators in this community stick together. We all talk, we share receipts, we don't leave each other hanging. And I guarantee we're not going to let anyone, especially somebody with a history like this, bully us into silence. So I'm so sorry to tell you, Josh, but if you thought intimidation was going to make this all disappear, you severely miscalculated. All it did was turn a spotlight on you. Anyways, guys, I'm so sorry for the horrible update, the horrible heavy update to kick off this new year, but I had to bring this to you guys, especially now that Bubba's video got taken down. We're not going to stand for this. We're not going to let him take this video down. I'm going to fight it every step of the way, because I already know he's going to report this. But thank you guys so much for listening. Please spread the word. The more people, the more creators know about this, the better, because this guy can't get away with this shit. This is so unbelievably disgusting. And the fact that I can't even put the receipts up on the screen should tell you how twisted and demented this guy is. He is using every little thing to get videos taken down, saying that we are violating his privacy. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it so much. I hope you guys had a great new year, and I look forward to 2026. Thank you. Please subscribe if you are not already. Consider liking this video, and I'll see you next time. Take care.